Hello, and welcome to episode 11 of A Pile of Shame, the Backlog Logs, the GOG chapters. Today I am playing Hitman Blood Money. I got this game in January 2021 and finally played it in December 2025, staying 4 years in the backlog. Released in 2006 for PC, PS2, Xbox, Xbox 360, this game was developed as usual by IO Interactive and published by IDOS Interactive. It is the fourth installment in the original series of Hitman games, and that means I made a mistake. See, I had played the first 3 games years ago, then this year I played Hitman Absolution, which is the follow-up to Blood Money. Then I played Blood Money. And I regret doing this reversal. The gameplay, though an improvement over the previous games for sure, was a heck of a lot clunkier when compared to the more arcadey style of Absolution. The gameplay, the environments, the mechanics, they all felt very different. And not in a bad way, but it is clear that it was a step back in quality for many aspects. Which is actually an interesting point of view for me. Having played the original games that were mostly the same mechanics with slight improvements over one another, I had a very good time going into Absolution. Going back to Blood Money revealed all the flaws and issues coming from the original games. Now it is clear that the mechanics were not on point in Blood Money, but the jump from Contracts, the third game, to Blood Money, the fourth game, was very nice. Everything was improved, and the leap from Blood Money to Absolution was enormous, now that I have played both of them. I had to set my thinking and planning to original games' style, and it was not easy. I had to read everything very carefully. Mission logs, target profiles, information about weapon upgrades, about equipment upgrades, and most of all, the controls. Unlike Absolution, it is a bit difficult to play this game. All throughout it, I would often get my keys wrong. Since I played the GOG version that has no controller support out of the box, I was forced to use the keyboard, and it felt very janky in some situations. Now I like this game as much as any other Hitman game, cementing my love for the franchise in a way that hadn't happened in a while. I can't wait to buy World of Assassination and play that one to see how much things have changed, improved, and become more or less challenging to do. But for now, let's focus on my time with Hitman Blood Money. Starting with the obvious training mission, it was very difficult to get things right the first time around. It is absolutely a short stroll through the park once you get the hang of the controls and timings, but until you do, it can be a bit confusing. You start out on a pier, climbing some debris, walking to a fence, and knocking out a guard in a cutscene. The game walks you through the movement controls, the camera controls, the action controls, accessing your menu and changing your items, that sort of thing. But as soon as I was in full control of the situation, everything derailed. The first skill the game presents is tossing coins to distract NPCs, and that was not easy to get right. The training provides you with a target to throw the coin at, but the NPCs would sometimes just ignore the coin, sometimes just walk 2 steps in its direction and stop, making it impossible to sneak by, or more than once, they would turn around as soon as I was out in the open, and they would spot me regardless of distance. And this is one hard mechanic. If someone is looking in your general direction, they will see you immediately, no matter how far you are. At least in my own experience, everyone in this game has perfect sight. Once through that particular challenge, the fiber wires presented for silent kills. That was another mechanic I kinda had trouble with initially. When using the fiber wire, you have to kinda charge it by holding the fire button, and takes you into sneak mode. You approach the target, let go of the button, and you got your kill. But the distances are not always clear, which caused me to fumble fiber wire kills a few times during the real game. With that part out of the way, the game explains climbing and navigation mechanics. Sneaking. Taking hostages.
I don't want to die, man. Don't kill me.
Wearing disguises. Stashing weapons in containers. Hiding bodies in containers. Hiding yourself in closets.
Where'd those lazy bastards go?
Sneak killing via elevator shaft. Sniping. Pushing people to their deaths. Poisoning food. using explosives, shooting defenseless sadists. All those things are eventually needed in different levels of the game, so you do use the complete toolbox of Agent 47, but in the tutorial it all feels a bit railroaded. Outside of the tutorial is a completely different story. The very first real level was a harsh wake-up call for me, because it was hard, it was consistent, and it was nerve-wracking. And it became predictable after a while. That's when I realized that Hitman Blood Money is a game about trying, failing, trying again, failing again, trying again, succeeding, and finally moving on. Any details that you miss can completely derail a mission even at the last minute. One thing that has been changed is people's attention to your speed. Running around is no longer a red flag. It used to be you had to stop running as soon as you entered an NPC's field of vision. Now you can just lag it all day and no one cares about it. Yes, that server sprinting all around, that's normal. The graphics are par for the course, meaning for its time, it looks okay. The sound is excellent. The voices are fine, but the subtitles are necessary sometimes to get the complete idea of what is happening. One thing that did disturb me is that some mission parameters are completely hidden from you. Nothing explains some of the things. Like in the theater level, that you have to go talk to the code checker in order to get a gun to complete one of the goals. Or in the hotel level, where you should check in to get a room key to help you complete one of the goals. Those things were explicitly told to you in the first 3 games. In this one, you have to pay for hints in each level. Those hints help a lot and give good ideas on how to neutralize each target in each level. Now, the story of the game seems to be a continuation of the series in a direct way, but not exactly connecting it to Absolution. That's weird, because by the end of this game, Diana Burnwood, who is your handler, actually set up the ICA, also known as the agency, back up from nothing. And then in Absolution, she has betrayed and destroyed the agency from within before the game even begins. The story this time is that an enemy agency is targeting your co-workers and your ranks are thinning, to the point that only you and Diana are left on the last mission. After that, she lives, you take one extra assignment, and then she uses Agent 47 to obliterate the enemy agency. She takes all the money from that competing agency and uses it to reopen the ICA. But then she betrays the agency again and sells everyone out, wrecks everything between games. It's kind of odd, but I can see why she would do it. Diana has morals somehow. At the end of the day, Hitman Blood Money is a nice game with some control issues, but very nice graphics, sound, and a very nice gameplay in general, turning each mission into a puzzle that can be solved in a variety of ways. I'm not sure that this game is for everyone, but if you're a fan of the franchise as a whole, it would be a cool idea to play it. If you got into the series with the newer games, Absolution, or even World of Assassination, I wouldn't suggest going backwards. And, since I've learned my lesson with this franchise, any other games that pop up on my 2 playlists, I will tackle them in the correct order. So if I get, let's say, a random game, Wasteland 3, then I will actually play Wasteland 1 and 2, just off the top of my head. See you next time.
What the fuck you looking at, Kraken?
I'm here to see Joseph Clarence.
Never heard of.
Mr. Swing King?
Oh, that sorry-ass dickhead. What the fuck they call you?
Names are for friends, so I don't need one.